Hi, everyone. It's Amanda Munchies here, and we are live on The Bud Show, Season 2. I feel like we're on episode 5 or 6, maybe 6, with all the live stuff we do in between and show dropping. I'm not sure. But really exciting show. We have Chris Martin with us tonight with Hempful Farms. We have some amazing products and stuff to talk about. There's just so much goodness there. I can't even wait to dive into it all and find out all about it and share with our amazing viewers what all this stuff is. I don't think I've ever seen stuff for kitty cats before. So I know I've seen the horse thing before only because I've been in your store, but you guys definitely are doing very unique things. So I'm excited to talk with you about those. So let's get to it. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So who are you? Where can we find you? There's a bunch of places. Tell us all of them.
Well, my name's Chris Martin. I own Hempful Farms. We do hemp products. I also own Zonka, an edible company, and a flower processor or producer for dispensaries. So we do quite a few things here in the local area and the state.
And you're not necessarily new to this game, are you?
I've been around a little while. I like to say that I helped pave a couple of these roads for a couple of people. So.
For sure. And just if anyone hasn't watched already, we had a show a few weeks back where I got to read his amazing autobiography. And it was just an amazing story, and then interview you and get to go a little deep and goodness. And then I got to meet your lovely lady at the Hempful Market. So as we dive in this weekend, we had the Hempful Market at Hempful Farms.
Yeah, so. Lucky her. She's at home snoring right now. I'm sure.
Right.
I doubt she's watching. But yeah, she helped with the market yesterday. We had a great turnout at the first ever. Well, I guess I shouldn't say first ever. We used to do them back with the cafe a few years ago, but first ever at this location market, and it went great. You guys did a good job. You and Dylan put that together with 40 vendors it looked like. We had a really good turnout. I think once a month we're going to try to do that again, at least until it gets too hot for people to go outside. And I think it'll be a good time. Just get involved. Get a hold of Amanda or Dylan if you want to. Be a part of that.
Well, and the cool thing, too, is we did some cool things that were a little bit different. So we collected yoga mats for the Prison Yoga Project, and we're actually still collecting those, right?
Yeah, we have those at the store now.
Off at your store. So if you have a yoga mat that you want to drop off or donate to the Prison Yoga Project, you can drop it off at the Hempful Market.
Yes, inmates do yoga.
Hempful Farms, sorry.
Inmates do yoga.
It's very good, actually, right?
Absolutely.
It helps with many
I
different
did
things.
yoga.
It's good for all of us. You should still do yoga. So great thing that we're doing there. We did a breathing session at noon, which I got to partake in, which also had a sound bowl and just a breathing kind of bring together by Totem Yoga that was just amazing and different. We had blended entertainment there, DJing the event, so bringing us some nice music for the event. There were so many different vendors. There's no way I'm going to be able to name them all, so I can't try. But it was just, there was just such a variety.
Yeah. And we have a big parking lot, so bring more.
Yes,
we want more.
Yes, and we had amazing food out there, so Twisted Munchies.
Absolutely. Hopefully by the next time, the cafe will be open, and we'll be able to do some catering of our own for the event.
You did some waffles and some coffee, and I saw everyone getting down on the waffles in the morning. So
a little flashback from the past.
Yeah, they were a nice treat for sure. So that was definitely an amazing event, and he's absolutely right. If anyone is interested in getting involved in that, you would want to email myself at admin@thebudcard.org or reach out to Dylan if you know him. I don't know his email off the top of my head.
We can be reached at hempfulfarmsinc@gmail or call the store 602-368-6922.
There you go. So we got you covered. And so, we're definitely looking forward to that. I'm going to be talking with him this week, and we're going to set some dates in stone. So we're super, super excited about that. Like you said, there were just so many different vendors. I know one of the comments that I've heard from many of the vendors was that it was really cool that you guys were allowing vendors that do CBD and stuff to be out in the parking lot selling their products, because obviously that's kind of what you do also. And so there were a lot of people that were super appreciative to be able to be in that space and just,
Yeah, typically we don't do a lot of that, especially with the shelves. We get a lot of clients that come in and want us to carry their products. But as everyone knows that's in this industry, brand building is a very important part of vertical integration. So while I'd love to house everyone's products on the shelves, it just doesn't do our brand a lot of good to do that all the time. So markets like this really allow us that opportunity to kind of think outside the bong and do it a little differently and let other groups come in. Even if we're a little nervous about it at the beginning, we just want it to be good for everybody. That's all.
For sure. I think it was like I said, I didn't hear anything bad about anything.
Not
I
at
think
all.
the weather turned out gorgeous at the end of the day. It was a little chilly when we started, and by the end, people were like, we need tents for like the ones that were in the sun. So that was funny.
Well, and ironically, it was planned on a motorcycle rally event, so it just happened to turn out really, really well early in the morning.
Right? That was super, definitely random that was happening. So the bar's not bad, though. We went over and had a drink afterwards. So
No, the new owner,
pretty
Ricky,
nice.
great guy. He's got a lot of events that'll be coming up. We're going to do some things together. Actually, in March, the Trifecta event that he does over there will fill that entire parking lot with vendors. And we're partnering up with him to shut the parking lot down and bring in just a huge party for 2 days. So
That's awesome. I want to be a part of it.
you'll get more information
Yeah, let me
on
know.
our site and on the Steel Horse Saloon.
Yeah.
They'll have more on there.
And
so.
maybe we can talk to him about a special for our Hempful Market in case anybody after, does want to go grab a cool one to refresh.
Absolutely. He's already asked us to do hemp
Yeah.
juices and smoothies in the bar
I love
because they have band members that don't drink.
Ooh, I like it. And I know a drink called the liquid marijuana. It doesn't actually have marijuana in it, but it's bright green and tastes really yummy. So, yay. All right. Well, all right. So that's all things Hempful Market. We talked a little bit about the Hempful Farms Cafe. So tell us a little bit more about that. You guys had a cafe before.
Yeah, over on Cactus, it was on Cactus between Greenway and it was on Cave Creek between Cactus and Greenway. We had a cafe there before I went on my little vacation, and since then, when we opened up this location, we had 3,000 square feet, and hopefully we'll grow to that with production to fill that space up. But right now, half the room's not being used. So, what better way to pay rent than to put a dining room in and go back to what we're comfortable with? And honestly, I haven't made a cinnamon roll in 5 years, and I still get emails about them. So I guess the time's right to get back and get rolling. We submitted our health department application to be inspected a couple of weeks ago, and we're just waiting for them to show up and give us the green light.
That's exciting. It'd be really cool if it was open by the time we do the next market.
That's the plan. Our target date was February 1st, so literally we are sitting there waiting to get this thing rolling so we can get training.
Wait, you're waiting on our government for something? No.
What do you know?
No.
Yeah, isn't it ironic? My grow kitchen's waiting on an inspection, and so is my cafe kitchen. Just
So funny how that's
kind of ironic. Same department.
So crazy how this stuff works. All right, so you also told me while we were smoking on some good shit, which we're gonna have to talk about in a few minutes. But
Absolutely.
so, where are you going?
I'm actually right after this. I get home, open the store tomorrow, finished an event with Harvest, and then we go straight to Vegas to the Cannabis Comedy Festival for a 2-day event where we get to pitch the book. We have a little table we're going to set up, and I'm going to go on stage and actually promo the book and let people know who I am and why we're there and what the book's about, and hopefully get some interest drummed up on the book.
Oh, I'm sure there's going to be interest. If anyone hasn't read it yet, they are totally missing out. So I know I'm not any book reviewer known to anyone, but I've definitely read a lot of books in my day, and I just want to say that the book is phenomenal. So I'm sure Vegas is going to absolutely love it.
Well, after your review, we sold out, just so you know. So after your review, we got lots of feedback, and we sold out.
Well,
so.
that's amazing. So good to hear. And that's just because the book is seriously amazing. So my only comment on that is that, are you pitching this at a comedian show? Because it's a little bit of a tearjerker for her, as I said, or at least to me, little girly over here. It's a little bit of a tearjerker.
There's a little backstory. Jeffrey Peterson's one of the comics. He's the 420 comic.
Okay.
When I went on the marijuana show to pitch this company before I went to prison, Jeffrey Peterson actually won season 1 of the show. Okay. So we were on season 2. We met him on the show. He stayed supportive throughout, actually offering to get his comic books that he does and use the sales to help support us in prison.
Wow.
And then ever since I've come out, he's anything that he could do to just help spread the word of the product he's done. And now he's offered for me to come out while he's headlining and come up on stage and just talk a little bit about us and what we do and why we're there.
That's awesome. And he's called the 420 Comedian?
The 420 comic, Jeffrey Peterson.
Jeffrey Peterson. Check him out. So
out of Las Vegas.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. So I feel like we have some more things to talk about. So cafe's coming soon. Book is out if anyone doesn't have it. Amazing, amazing book worth every second of the read. Just get it and start reading. You won't be able to put it down. In front of me is this piece of paper that is also super exciting that tells about an upcoming event that you guys are doing, right?
Yeah, April 6th, we're going to host John Patterson and the Tiny Hemp Houses out of Colorado. We did this event last year in Nipton. When we bought Nipton, California, we hosted Phoenix Cannabis Coalition, Safe Arizona, a few other active members of some other groups we had out there, and we built a wall. We built hempcrete block. We learned how to mix it and why it's sustainable. We had a hemp lunch, and then we also offer little hemp gift baskets that we'll give out for everyone who applies. So it's $125 to sign up.
Okay.
It's a 6-hour class.
Okay.
It sounds a little steep, but you get a full meal with that, and you also get, like I said, the gift bag with a bunch of presents, and the brick you make, you take home, it's yours. So
Plus you're learning.
A lot of neat education that it can actually be a trade. Our goal is to get this product not just into your hand, but onto shelves. Wouldn't it be neat to go into a Home Depot and not see plywood lining the walls anymore, but actually a hemp product? That's our goal, is just to show why we want to make this usable and accessible for people.
Well, and a lot of people don't know. So a lot of people think of cannabis and they just think of THC. It gets you high. It's horrible. Or even if they think of it as medicine, they don't necessarily know all the other benefits of the cannabis plant or the hemp plant, right? So what are some of, I mean, this says, but what are some of the benefits of hemp or using hemp?
The funny thing for me with this is when I mention hempcrete or hemp, industrial hemp to people, the first thing I hear is, oh, you make rope or a T-shirt. And that's cool, yeah, but, read a book. Go outside. I mean, hemp has been around a long time. And for my family, it's actually history. Back in the war, we had land, and we were required to grow. If you owned land on the East Coast during the war and you did not grow, you could be fined and thrown in jail. So
This teach us this in history class.
Isn't that funny? And now we go to jail for
the same thing.
Yeah, it's ironic. It's funny to see how it's changed and where we're at now. But for me, hemp is a little bit more than just rope and T-shirts. It's everything. I mean, for me, what ways are we not going to use this plant and this product in the future?
Yeah, and why are we not using it in those ways even sooner? I think even all the packaging that we use for all of our product, it is saddening for a nonprofit girl like myself who wants to save the world. Like, I can't help to think every time I purchase my medicine, like I'm not helping anything. And so
I just had that conversation today. I was getting a haircut on my way home from work, and the lady who does my hair, she's really into organic products. And that's her biggest battle. She says the only reason she hasn't gone to market is because of the packaging. There's a couple places that are doing a couple products, but the price and the demand are just, we're not there yet.
Right.
And then it doesn't cover the whole product line. So I talked with her a little bit and said, you know what, I've got sources like John and Derek and people like this that have been doing this a long time. I'd have no problem making those contacts, because that's all it's going to be about, is networking and getting the companies that have been doing it with plastics and with other products to just give it a try.
Yeah.
I mean, I talked with the Kind Trade guys a few months ago about skateboards. Those guys make Kind Trade decks. They do amazing woodwork. Let's get them some hemp herd and start making some decks and snowboards and skis. And I mean, there's so many things.
Right.
We just got to do it. You just, just make it happen. Go out and see what we can produce with this.
Well, and teach people, because again, I don't think they even know. Like, I think you're right. People think of hemp and they think of rope or t-shirts, they don't know all the different things that you can do or the benefits of using it or any of those things. And that goes to even when it comes to actual plant for medicinal uses. It just doesn't seem like a lot of people know.
It's hard to translate that into plastic or something else, much less explain a phytonutrient to somebody.
Yes. There was a gentleman, and I'm not going to name any names or anything. You'll know who I'm referring to, so I don't need to name any names. But at the Hempful Market, who totally needed some CBD. Like, that guy needed a dose of CBD or 5 doses of CBD. Like, he needs a regimen of CBD. And it was funny to me. Well, it wasn't funny. It was sad to me, but kind of funny, that when I said it, I mean, he definitely reacted like I was telling him to take a drug or something. Yeah. And it was like, no, like CBD is amazing and it will help you and it's natural. And let's just teach you, because this that you feel right now, like, I mean,
well, at the bottom line,
help you.
At the end of the day, probably pounded a Dr. Pepper and a Advil on the way home.
All the stuff that was bad for you, right? Red Bull or absolutely. Who knows? All the stuff that's bad for you. And that's the thing, like, people just don't know. And that's why, again, it's so important to have these conversations and be educating people. And I think it's important, you know, even to have a space like this where people can just talk and have these conversations. And hopefully a few people out there will watch and listen and comment and, you know, want to know more, because that's how we normalize it. That's absolutely. How we make it to the next step. You know what I mean? And we're getting there, because 20 years ago we were smoking I was smoking dirt brick weed from God knows where. But yeah. So, all right, one more time. So this is coming up, $125. You can register online, right?
Yep, it'll be April 6th. You can register at hempfulfarms.com. We have a little tab on the homepage where you just click on it and register. And then I think we have a couple volunteer positions left. I'm not sure. You will have to call Mel at 602-368-6922 at our office and find out what positions we have left. We gave a lot of our positions away from the market yesterday to get people in. And but John's really good about it. So if he needs any extra help, he'll put you to work and let you sit in on the class. So I think we have a total of 40 seats that we were trying to fill up, and we have about a little under 30 of them left. So sign up quick. Once it takes off, it fills up really fast.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm super excited to be there and to go and learn more. And I don't necessarily see myself building a tiny house ever, because I'm not very crafty. It would be very lopsided. But I'm definitely interested to learn and hopefully help other people to learn about this experience. So,
well, and the neat part with this class is they make it super simple. You know, I don't want to say they dumb it down, but they make it so simple so that way the translation's easy. Okay. And you start to think of other applications right away. It's like, oh, wait a minute, I could shave that down and make drywall out of it, or drywall mud, and pack a wall with it.
That's
absolutely
cool.
There's a lot of neat stuff.
Cool. That's definitely
and John's super knowledgeable. I mean, he's been working. That's a table. Right? That's a custom hemp table that he made for a company. Same thing with the register stand. That's for a company back in Colorado, I believe.
Beautiful.
Took them a few weeks to make it. They're definitely not cheap, but so beautiful. And that's the thing. We have to build that demand to drive those prices down. Right. It's not going to get any cheaper if we don't start demanding it.
Right. If we're all afraid of it. Well, even with the packaging, it's like, why don't we as businesses, and I say we, which I don't necessarily package anything, but why don't businesses team up together? Because yes, there is the cost is high. If I am a small business, and for me to do it by myself, it's going to be really hard. But like, we had 40 plus vendors out at that market, and at least 10 of them were CBD companies. What if those 10 CBD companies, I hope you all are listening, teamed up together, you know, and even teamed up with you, just throwing it out there, and then went to these places and said, hey, now we got an order, and here's the demand, and how do we make it affordable, you know? Because I think maybe that's what it takes, and I think sometimes we don't realize how the community can come together and really support each other in ways that benefit everyone, not necessarily one person or the other. You know what I mean? And this would be something that would benefit not just those using the hemp products, but those of us buying the products and then our planet at the end of the day.
Well, it's going to take everyone carrying on that level, not just the fly-by-night companies that are coming in to make a dollar.
Yes.
It takes companies that are willing to invest that money and time into doing it correctly. Yeah. That's where you run into the problems, because I can tell you, you know, 6-7 years ago when I started my hemp company, we were snake oil salesmen. Like
Right.
there wasn't a lot of competition around. They were too busy throwing tomatoes at us.
Yes.
And now all of a sudden it's completely opposite and
Well,
different. And
yeah.
I'm cool with that. I love the competition, but you're right.
Yes.
If we don't come together and demand these surpluses drop and the prices drop for the hemp products, we're not going to see it, and it's going to take those companies that have that same passion behind it to make it happen.
And the other thing too, like CBD, first of all, is such a trend. It's such a trend right now. I mean, my mom sent me and someone else tagged me in the Forbes article that's talking about the top trends, and it's like food and drinks with CBD, and it's like, okay, well, anyone that has been in this industry could have told you that was coming because
you're welcome.
Yeah, they've been doing it, right? It's not exactly new.
Same companies who told us no, they wouldn't let us advertise 6 years ago.
Right.
Exactly. Same companies.
Oh yeah, and the same restaurants that weren't you in, and it's the same thing. Even
now they're copying your model.
Right. Well, even with the markets, there's a lot of places where we would love to work with different people, and they won't have us. There's First Friday companies that won't let us in. They won't let cannabis in anyway. Yeah. And so, again, we have to work together. We have to normalize it, and I think that's a big part of what we need to be doing together. And I also think that if we don't do that, and I've said this on the show before, then at the end of the day, the people who are going to win is going to be the big companies that are going to come in and make cheap CBD, like super fucking cheap. It's not even going to be CBD for all we know. They're going to sell it in Kmart and Walmart and fucking
it's happening
Circle
right
K,
now.
Right? Mm-hmm. So you're going to be able to go into Circle K and buy CBD, and someone who doesn't know anything is just going to buy it, and they're not going to, again, know what it could actually do or the benefits or the testing of it. And again, they're not going to be educated to even know to ask. Right, so these are things people aren't asking about labeling.
I think that's. I think it starts at the beginning on any topic you talk about. Yeah. Educate.
Yeah.
Don't talk about it. Read about it.
Yeah.
Learn about it. Be about it. You know, the Farm Bill is a perfect example. How many people out there read the Farm Bill? It's 1,100 pages.
Nobody.
Just curious.
Yeah. I'm like, nobody read it. Let's be honest.
There's only 2 pages that mention hemp in the bill. And if we went through the bill and read all this stuff or listened to the people who've been screaming this stuff for a long time, the hemp bill didn't do what a lot of people think it did. It didn't legalize CBD and normalize it for people. It's just paving a road for corporations to take it over.
Right.
You can see it. It's when I went to Utah, I was in Utah a couple of months back talking about Prop 2, just speaking on what trouble we've had in Arizona and helping Utah avoid their Prop 2 debacle. Well,
which we should be working together with other states.
Their problem is, like we have a 25-mile rule here in Arizona. They have a 100-mile rule in Utah. So I couldn't even get past the 100-mile rule before, getting onto another topic to help these guys with their law. But as we're talking about it, things started to click. Coca-Cola throwing their hat in the game. Oh, wow, that's interesting. GW Pharmaceutical releases Epidiolex and gets a Schedule 5 ruling out of their CBD, but only through FDA-approved kitchen. So instantly you're seeing red flags going, wait a minute. Well, then all of a sudden I'm there and the Mormon church comes out and says, hey, look, we approve. We agree with CBD. And I'm totally blown away. Like, where have I been? Like, I know I just got out of prison, but I wasn't gone that long. Yeah. That's really crazy. Why is that? Well, there's a lot of stock value there owned into Coca-Cola. And then when you notice that Coca-Cola, all their ex-CEOs were hired by GW Pharmaceutical to run Epidiolex, man, it sure punches you in the mouth, and you realize that this corporate takeover is not only at one level or one corporation. It's a trickle-down effect. So that's why you can see some of these big companies proudly bragging in Forbes and that their products in Costco and doing all these great things, and they're not worried about the Fed raid or anyone taking their product. But mom and pop guys like me, you watch our products get taken by the post office or bullied by the UPS or all because we didn't pay to play or we're not in this corporate takeover. So, where we were snake oil salesmen once and then believed for 5 years to copy the model, now we're back to snake oil salesmen again. Right. It's
well, they have to make you the bad guy so that they can be the good guy and they can make the, you know what I mean? So they can make the same
enough's enough? When did we just stand up and say no? You're not going to take it from us. It's ours now.
But we live in such a, I'm sorry, society. We live in a very
soft.
Yes, sheeple society of people who go along with things. I mean, If you even look at, I'm gonna call out some shit no one's gonna like. If you look at athletes or anything like that who do horrible fucking shit, horrible shit, and people are like, oh, we're gonna wear their jerseys anyways, like. So and we
my
just
team,
don't care. We just don't care.
Our running back got kicked off our team for being horrible to women and got hired today by another team.
Right.
I don't even want to watch a game anymore.
And people are gonna rock
I
the
don't.
jersey,
I want to take my kids and go fishing.
And it's not even just it's not just athletics, right? It's music.
Yep.
Music is crazy. Sorry, like totally sexualizes and totally like crazy. So that like at what point do we as a people again like where's the education? Where is there any type of educational music today or any type of music talking about real shit? You know what I mean? Where is any of this? And so you can find it on the underground a little bit, but still not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, not enough because it's already been taken over by everything, you know.
Absolutely.
The radio's owned by corporations, the TV owned by corporations. It's all owned by the fucking people.
Money makes money.
Right.
Absolutely. Yep. I've learned it. I saw it from corporate standpoint all the way down to, jail.
Yeah.
If you've got money, you avoid that stuff.
Yeah. Right.
That's how it goes.
Right. We said growing up, I believed that you were innocent until proven guilty. And then I learned very quickly that you were guilty until you had the money to prove yourself innocent.
Absolutely.
And that was a tough lesson, I think, for a naive little girl to learn. And I had to learn it more than one time, unfortunately. So, it was just one of those tough lessons where you're like, but wait a minute, I thought this was the justice system, and where's the justice? And
it's just us.
Yes. And the more we learn about it, the more we learn, too, like our school doesn't teach us about any of these things, right? No. So you were saying, like, your family grew hemp. Yeah. How did you learn about that, by the way? Like, did you...
Honestly, it's just passed down through my family. You know, as I met my dad and went back to the East Coast, learned more about my family, and got told what it was like back there. It's cool. Kind of neat. When we did this documentary and the book, I had to do a lot of research and studying and figure things out, and history pops up. It's pretty neat.
That's cool.
It just shows you that you're here for a purpose. It's a lot bigger than you sometimes.
For sure. For sure. And that is a little reminder for anyone who's also in the down and outs right now. Because I just feel like a lot of people are in a sad place. So hear that, the purpose is bigger. So just know. Absolutely.
I mean, a lot of people think that, that haters make me famous and the hashtag and all the talk and all that stuff is about negativity. And it's not. It's completely the opposite. I keep a small circle and I do things kind of to my own beat. And there's a reason for that. And it's more about safety. It's more about security and less about being nasty or mean. But it's also about my family at this point. When I first got into this, it was about everybody else. All I cared about was the patient, making sure the patient was great. And I still have that mentality. But if I can't take care of me and my family, there's no way in the world I'm going to do any good for anybody else. Yes. And really, at the end of the day, none of us are here forever. Yes. I got a legacy that's going to be here a lot longer than me. And that matters to me. Yeah. That really matters to me. So those moments where I should be tired or should be going home or I should probably be having, a different aspect on things, I don't. I keep my head down. I go to work and I make sure my brand is the best brand I can put out there every single day. I mean, there's not a day that we're not R&Ding or being a management team that's trying to become a better company. I had a tour today. A guy came in with another company, and he goes around, he tours companies. Well, I mean, he goes to big companies, guys that supply products in big box stores and everywhere. And to have him walk through my store and look at me and tell me, I feel like I'm with family. I feel like I'm at home. And your kitchen's cleaner than some of these big ones. I mean, to me, that's the icing on the cake. But it also shows that our legacy and our value system behind this brand is really reaching out there. People are really getting what we're doing because it's what we do. This is our family lifestyle. It's not just a 9 to 5, like, hey, come buy my product. I mean, anyone who's been in my store can tell you that I've given away more than I've sold. And that's how we do it, because if it works, you're going to come back and you're going to tell your neighbor. Yes. And your friend and all the other people. So why not take a $30 bottle with you now and go show everyone? And really, that's how our brand got started. That's how this whole thing became what it is now. And I think the key is not forgetting that. Remembering where we came from. Yeah. Never becoming bigger than that.
And it's okay, too. Like, I think there's this idea in the world that, like, and I'm going to use the word selfish, but I think a lot of people have this negative connotation behind, like, selfish. But I think we have to be a little bit selfish to take care of ourselves and our families to be able to do that good stuff. Like if you don't put the mask on yourself in the airplane when it's going down, you ain't putting it on nobody else either. You know what I mean? And so there has to be that level of like, it's okay to say no and it's okay to take care of yourself. And people need to respect that too. You know what I mean? And even with, I think, events and stuff, I think a lot of the times people think that it's competition. So even like with the Hempful Market, there's a lot of people out here that are doing events now that I love and support in this industry and wanted them to know, like, I'm not trying to compete with you. And there is room for all of us and event room for everyone's events. And if you have an event on the same day, that's okay. Like, I'm not mad. You want to know why? Because there's 170,000 patients, and then there's thousands of other people that aren't patients.
It's a definite unique situation to be put in this community.
Yeah.
Because I've always been that guy that, you know what, it's never about division. It's always about bringing it together, doing this right.
Yeah.
But then I've also been on the other aspect of where you've been burned by some of the best con men in this game. And if you don't call them out or pinpoint them, they're going to ruin this community and they're going to destroy one by one down that road. So, you know, you're in a conundrum. You're in a really bad spot. Like me personally, where I don't want to sling mud. I don't want to put dirt on people, but I don't want to watch anyone else do 6 years in the joint.
Right.
Or I don't want to watch someone else lose their entire brand, family, house, money, everything because they shook the wrong hand.
Right.
We've all got to come around and realize the good and bad in each other and everyone else. And I get that. The only way we're going to come together as a community is weeding out some of the bad.
Yeah.
Getting rid of some of the poisons that's been stuck there. And
Go
how
home,
do you
you
do
fuckers.
that? Who knows? I don't have the
I don't
answer
know
for
either.
that other than, hey, you. You're gone.
Yeah.
You know, and that's really how I've driven my business. It's promoted some haters. It definitely has, where people think, you know, who's he? Who's he think he is? And honestly, out of all those 5,000 friends that are on my page and all those people who are there, you know, that love our brand and follow us, I didn't get that many letters in prison, so I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, I love you too, but where's the real love at? And I want to get past that. I think there's a way to do that, and it's really just, like you say, love, bringing everyone together, but also you got to weed out the crap. You really do. I'm sorry.
Well, and with that being said, when we do Hempful Market, any drama people, like, just for no, you will be asked nicely to leave and never come back because it is a drama-free market. Like, whoever is there. Or
well, even the drama a little bit we had, it was over, quick, done, squashed, handled, nothing.
Because we don't want that.
Well, and my main thing with these markets, too, is I want everyone to understand the political aspect. You know, I lost my right to vote in this state at 18 years old over a plant. I did nothing to lose that right. Doesn't change the fact that I don't have it. So whether I can vote one way or another is really nobody's business, and it doesn't affect anything right now. So I try not to get involved politically. Do I know right from wrong and what I'd love to see? Absolutely I do. And does that mean I'll help change minds? All day long. But I'm not going to let my brand get trapped into this political tornado and be, you know, thrown in with this group and, oh, well, he likes them but doesn't like them. That's the only reason why you don't see me anywhere. I build it. I put it on my property.
I appreciate it, just for no.
Well, no, that's what I want people to understand.
Like, I see you at the market that we did together, and you definitely, in my eyes, are about community. I think you have
I don't
to be
pick and
selective.
choose. I really try not to. But if I'll tell you flat out, if I got burned, you're out the door. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not friends, and all my friends are going to know.
You're right, yeah. And I think that's too, like, I think too, also everyone tries sometimes in this industry to do a little bit too much or go a little bit too far. And it's like, kind of stay in your lane.
Yeah,
like,
that's
you know what I mean?
number
like,
one.
And that's the other thing too, you know what I mean? Like, and also a lot of people don't like, you know, some people have conversations, but nobody writes things down, right? And so there's
professionalism.
But then at the end of the day, people get mad or hurt or whatever because things aren't the way you thought they were or I thought they were, because of course we thought they were different because nobody wrote anything down. We didn't have anything set. You know?
It's a lot of people too that were in a black market industry that weren't professional. That are now trying to become professional. And that transition's not very easy for some, you know? Where I've been a chef my life. I've run restaurants and businesses my life. So, you know, it's not too much of a transition to run it correctly. We just are changing the ingredients. That's it. You don't always see that with some of the companies out there.
Well, and businesses don't know, like, even to do it right, people don't realize, like, that means having an EIN, that means having an LLC or whatever, type of corporation you need. It might not be an LLC. It means having a bank account through a bank that actually knows who you are, not one that will technically shut you down. I mean, right? And
Well, and simple entity searches.
Yeah.
Like if you just go to the Corporate Commission and search a name before you try and make a business out of it, do you know how many cease and desists I've sent to people using the word Hempful in their name?
That's crazy.
I'm trademarked. I fought tooth and nail 8 years to get that trademark. I mean, for a federal entity to give you a trademark with the name hemp in it,
Right.
I'm running with it.
Right.
I'm taking it and it's mine.
Yes.
So now, I mean, literally daily, there's hempful this, hempful that, and that's sweet. It's great. It's cool. But you know what? I don't get very many good ideas. The last one I went to prison for. I'm not trying to go back. I want to keep my stuff.
Don't go back to
I'm
jail.
just
We like your
protecting it.
products too much, and you're too important to our community. No.
No, it's just funny. All that could be avoided with a simple search. You go on there, you look it up. Oh, wait, somebody's using that name. I'll think up something else.
Yes.
And it's really that. It's that basic.
Yes. Literally, it's just a website that you literally look it up on just for that.
Simple. And it would avoid a big conflict or a cease and desist from my attorney or even, because that's where you get the bad
Well,
name.
you
Like,
have
this
an
guy's a
attorney.
jerk, I'm not a jerk. I'm just trying to protect what's ours.
What
that's
you've
all.
built, right? Your name. Very important. All right, so we are coming to where we need to do a break. Question, my amazing guys behind the scene, is the beautiful gold thing ready? And if so, yes.
The woman likes gold.
Yes. So shine.
Thought it was
on.
diamonds. It's not diamonds.
I mean, I like it all.
Gold and diamonds?
Yeah, as long as it's not from any bad places either, though. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I don't want any. Yeah, that's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother show.
I'm like,
Film at
I
11.
know, right? You're gonna deliver? Come on. So we have Miss Phoenix, 420, who's bringing us some.
He insisted I wear it around my neck.
I love
just to show that it's, a wearable tie stick
wearable tie stick.
that shines.
Shiny.
Beautiful. So
nice.
Yeah.
this is a tie stick that Weed Perfect rolled, and then he took a beautiful shine king size wrap. And does it go all the way around?
It goes all the way
yes, I
around.
knew it would fit.
Figured
I
it
said it.
out.
I said it would.
Yeah.
So we weren't sure if it would go all the way around. Ooh, thank you, thank you.
And I actually got video of him rolling it all
That looks like break time.
Oh, we're 4 minutes and 38 seconds away, people.
420?
So we're almost. So this is beautiful. So the gold paper is the Shine Gold Wrap, which they literally, it smokes like butter. I mean, I'm sure this thing's going to smoke like butter anyways. But then it will actually leave gold ash. I don't know if you ever smoked one of these, but they're pretty darn fabulous. Nice. So they smoke.
And with that ash,
phenomenal.
you can make a grill.
Yes, that would be amazing. Someone in the industry will now do that.
See, look.
There will be a video now.
Call my
of someone
lawyer,
doing
patent
a
that
gold
right now.
Shine grill. See Shine. See what we come up with. Okay, so this was made by Weed Perfect. This is one of his. I'm going to be honest. This is one of his more simple creations, and I only say that because he makes elaborate things. But this
I
is
swear that
gorgeous.
was a 747 I saw back there.
I think there was. We
big.
could probably sit in it and fly somewhere too. I wouldn't doubt it.
We're about
He
to.
makes some amazing things, right?
Yeah.
So we'll have to get some of his other things, his other pieces to show you when we come back. I know he doesn't like his face on air, but we will definitely bring some pretty pieces.
Got some really cool pieces for Valentine's Day.
And then when we come back, we're going to talk about all of these products. You're going to break out some flour that we smoked
Got some
on,
good
and we're going to
stuff.
talk about it and show you some of it and talk about it. And
Yeah, who
get
let
them
Zonka
educated.
back in the game?
Yes, I can't wait. This flour looks amazing and feels amazing because we smoked 2 J's between like 5 or 6 of us, and we were all like this.
Zooted.
So, yes. So, can't wait. So, yeah, we're going to take a break and continue to medicate and then educate. and we are super excited for this evening. So we want to say a big shout out to you for being here and also for being a sponsor. So Hempful Farms is not just here as a guest. You are our sponsor for the second Monday of every month, and you're going to be helping us to educate people on different products that are out there, flour, and just in general helping us to do more education in our community. And we super, super appreciate that. So,
It's our pleasure. Thanks for having us.
yeah, I mean, you guys do, like I said, so much within our community, and I look forward to what we're going to continue to do together. So, yeah, we're going to go get stoned. I'm trying to think if there's anything else before we leave you. If you haven't gotten your tickets for Women Grow while we're on break and you're toking and we are, that would be a great thing to go do. I say that because I'll be there tomorrow night. Sex and cannabis tomorrow night. So, pillow talk back in the building. So it's going to be a great event, and Take for Photo Booth will be there. The Bud Card will be there selling memberships, and in general, just having a good time and getting educated as well. So see you there, and we're going to go get educated and come back in like 5 or 10, maybe 15. Yay.
Medicated.
All right. How are
Right
you
on.
doing?
Medicated.